Voice of Men 360. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Thought I'd try that again. I'm happy that you're here today. My name is Groh with Voice of Men 360, our monthly show called Author Circle. And we have a special guest today, Florin, Marksteiner. And before we bring him on, I'd just like to share a few things about who we are, what's going on. I'm also a peer support coordinator with Voice of Men 360. Voice of Men 360 is a nonprofit organization founded in 2020 based in Toronto, Canada. Voice of Men 360 was born out of seeing a tremendous need and stepping up to provide services to help support and overcome men's and boys' life challenges. We're part of International Men's Day, and that's been serving for over 21 years so far, 90 countries around the world joining together and doing various activities regularly. International Men's Day follows 6 pillars, which is the overall well-being of boys and men. We follow in the same footsteps. So Voice of Men 360 wants to recognize and appreciate the individuals who've been contributing to the areas of boys and men's issues through their writings. Participants around the world will be joining and sharing their contributions and experiences. The show runs on the third Saturday of every month from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So before I introduce our guests, I'd like to go through our disclaimer and to give you an understanding who we are.
I already got the disclaimer. It's okay. Go ahead.
You got it? Okay, good. So I'd like to introduce our guest speaker today. His name is Florin Marksteiner. He's originally from Romania, growing up under very rough conditions in communism. And Florin can say that he lived on both sides of the wall. After the revolution in 1989, he and the entire Romanian people had to adapt to capitalism and find a career. Because of his personality, Florin was attracted by the entertainment industry, in particular by acting and filmmaking. Today, after 20 years in the industry, Florin is continuing his career on the other side of the planet on the North American continent, precisely in Canada, and extending his writing skills from film scripts and commercial copywriting to becoming a published author. Florin often says, "I'm not perfect, but I thank God for including me in his world." He has written a book, and here shows you what the book looks like. You can see it, Our Father, Understanding God. So I read the book the last few days, and it's quite an inspiring book. He's written with one goal: to inspire and motivate youth to think about becoming good fathers and family leaders at the right time by showing them how simple it is to understand our Father God. What if I tell you that I can make you understand God by the end of this book? What if I tell you that you'll learn that a relationship with God is a powerful, meaningful, but above all, simple? Well, I'm telling you now it is. This is a simple approach to spiritual growth, a simple way to enter the fatherhood and parenting with a great attitude and with strong confidence, knowing that you have someone as a role model, God. In this easy to read book, I'm asking how a father feels in relation to his children, and I transpose that to God. Connecting those two relationships, we understand better how God feels and why he's doing what he's doing. If your mom, a sister, friend, you need to get this book for the teenage boys in your life. If you're a teenage boy, this is destined for you. Just open the book and read the first chapter. You see what I mean? You might not be able to put it down. That's exactly what happened to me. So without further ado, let's bring on Florin. Florin, how you doing?
Well, hello.
Happy to see
I'm
you
good. I'm
again.
good.
Yes, we spoke on video call the other day, so it's great to see you again. We had a few things in common. So he's on the other side of the world right now, temporarily in Romania, correct? With his
Yes,
beautiful fiance, and we need to congratulate Thorn as well because he did have a milestone in his life. He's now 27 years old.
something like that. Yeah,
The room by the
going on
attitude.
46.
Yes, yeah, you definitely don't. You definitely don't look your age. You're definitely
Oh,
much younger, especially with that fantastic jacket he's wearing. I love that jacket. I
well,
feel like
thank you.
maybe I should go over and buy it off of him.
With this one, I'll always be 16.
Well,
It
that's
even had the
exactly.
patches.
Yes, yes. So, and his home is not too far from where I live in Kitchener. He's in London, Ontario, about an hour away. And you did an event in Chatham where I was born. You were telling me that
Yes,
was an event with the film industry.
yes. That was the Christian Life International Film Festival where we had people coming from almost the entire North American continent. We even had people coming from Dallas, Texas. I mean, always down south.
Well,
So,
down south, down to Dallas, Texas. Wow, that's quite something. So I wish I'd known about it. I would have been happy to get involved and participate in that. And then I asked him his fiance's name, and he tells me I couldn't believe it, Ramona. And
hmm
there's a famous song that happened many years ago, the same name, and I searched for many years trying to discover who the singers were. So I sent you the link to the song, and from what I could tell by your message, I guess your fiance liked it.
yep, she liked it. She loves
Yeah.
it. I would love to hear a song called Florin,
Yes.
don't you?
So that's
You know,
quite
so
quite fascinating. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was shocked when you said her name's Ramona. It's one of my
yeah.
favorite songs. So I sent you the link by the Blue Diamonds, who were part Indonesian and from the Netherlands and can speak German and who knows what other languages speak and English
hmm
and Spanish. Who knows? So, but to get to the point of why we're together, we're going to discuss your amazing book. Um, and those of you who want to see what it looks like, there's his book. I made it special so everybody can see it and made it nice and big so no one can say they can't see it. Our Father, Understanding God by Florin Marksteiner. So with a name like that, do you speak German too?
And a little bit, just a little bit.
Because it sounds like a German name to me.
Just like Guten Abend. Ja, jawohl.
Here is Guten Morgen. It's morning
Guten
here.
Morgen, yeah.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah,
so I'd like to ask a few questions about your book. What motivated you to write this book? Did it come out of a sense of struggle or pain or sorrow in your life, or did it come from a point of joy? What motivated you to want to write a book about fathers and not just the earthly father, but heavenly father? Because there we have a common interest. My faith in God is quite strong, so we have several things in common. So this is quite a delight. I could hardly wait to get on this interview today. I couldn't even sleep. I was so excited.
thank you. First of all, I'm happy that it happened exactly what I said on the book cover on the back, that if you pick up the first chapter, you're not going to be able to put it down. So I'm happy that it happened to you too. The thing is, I wrote this book, and I never write a book in my life. Before that, I wrote scripts for films,
Hmm.
copy for commercials, different other things, articles, but not a book. And to be honest, I had to have a huge courage to put a book out with this title,
Hmm.
Our Father
Yeah.
Understanding God,
Yes.
because I even had a meeting with an editor
Hmm.
that suggested me to just change the title of the book. But the thing is, I had an epiphany in one point when I was at a men's meeting in the church, and because of that, I decided to call the book like that. I took the risk, okay?
Hmm.
Because why I'm saying is a lot of people, they roll their eyes whenever they hear something like this. Because I was involved with the Christian Life International Film Festival, I can tell you, I have people that they roll their eyes whenever they hear about Christian things, uh, because they don't really understand how easy it is and how close to the heart it is everything you do with God. So, so that was, as I said, it was a I had to take my in Romanian we say you take your heart into your teeth, to have some guts, some courage, and some dare, and to be able to write this book, because I had a download, how a lot of people are saying,
Hmm.
So that happened in a men's meeting. I was just there. We were singing, we were talking, and at one point I just went, I can't wait to become a father to understand God. And everybody just looked at me. Some of them, they laughed at me. And I was like, okay, but I knew what I said. This is the weird part. I knew it, and I already, because I'm a filmmaker, I already seen the book and what I want to tell people. Because eventually the book, it's a way to speak one time and for people to hear what you said years and years and maybe even centuries after you're passed, right?
So
So
what
I
would you
hope
say
that it
came
becomes one
first?
of my legacy. Sorry?
So I'm just curious, what came first? Was it understanding God, or was it becoming a father, or did they
It,
both happen around the same time?
so no, you're right. So it came the epiphany. And after that, I became a father, I think about a year or after, or maybe 2 years after.
Hmm.
But the idea of the book remained into my heart and into my mind, it's
Mhm.
as I said, I didn't really have the courage. But again, I was happy to let it simmer
Mhm.
while I was becoming a father. Because step by step, I was understanding that I was right, at least in my opinion. I was right when what I thought when I was there with the first thought. So step by step, I got confirmations that everything I wanted to write in the book, it was right. I like all the chapters that it's small chapters, maybe a page, page two, three, four, maybe the longest one. It's good bites to give you you have a read, and after that it gives you a moment, you go like, oh, wait a second, is that easy? Yeah, but we don't have the courage to admit that this world is so simple. We just like, because we're human, we like to complicate it, right? Even
Mhm.
the science says that the DNA is formed from four elements, just
Hmm.
four, you know but yeah. So yeah, becoming a father, then I did understand. I got to understand how God feels, how God thinks, how his emotions. And I know it's weird for me, a guy that I don't have theology, I don't have any studies, I don't have any, so let's say, structure or base for religion and for church and for anything else. But I have, thank God, I have a mind that lets me go beyond, let's say, the surface. And as I said, I had confirmation on episodes and episodes and episodes. And maybe I'll tell you about some of them. My favorite one, I'll tell you about it if you ask me. So,
Okay, I read a few. Since I read your book last night fully, there was a few different episodes that you were dealing with. So
mhm.
I took several notes. There was yes, your chapters weren't that long, so but they give good impact. So I like what you said about that you can't wait to become a father, understanding God. And what I was curious about is a sentence you said in there. Why do men relate more to God? What does man why does mankind complicate everything, and why is God jealous? Those particular things I wanted to get your perspective on why you put that in there and what does that mean?
Which subject are we talking about? Why men understand God better? Why do they
Yes,
relate better
and
with God?
why is mankind complicating everything, and why is God jealous? How would you answer that? Like, how did you come to that conclusion?
So we all know God's a jealous God, right? It even says in the Bible. It's not a bad jealousy. This is what people have to understand. Jealousy is not just bad. That's it. Oh my gosh, I'm jealous because I saw my fiance or something talking with a guy. No. Jealousy is even that little feeling, that little vibe that you get when you're jealous because somebody has maybe a better pen than you, or maybe you're jealous because somebody got to write a book or whatever, and you wanted to write a book. So jealousy, that's what it is. Can I say it goes a little bit towards envy? In one of my little chapters was about the jealousy and how, and I know I lived that as a father. You're happy to give everything to your kids.
Hmm.
So a friend comes over, gives them some candy, suddenly he's their best friend, and you're on the back burner for them because the candy made the guy um, be on the first place at the moment. So
Hmm.
you feel a little jealousy there, even if you don't want to, even if you don't want to admit it, it's
Hmm.
there.
Hmm.
So that these little seeds, because I cannot fully understand God, right? We cannot fully understand God. We cannot fully understand our fathers,
Hmm.
our biological fathers, or even the fathers that adopted us, okay? Our father figure. We cannot really understand them fully, but it's nice to feel like you're on the same page, to go like, you know what? I am in his image. I am mirroring God. So that's about the jealousy that I feel that is happening, and why it's normal. It's normal. We're human and we're in God's image, right?
Hmm.
So we're not just physically in his image. No, we are, how should I put it? In our DNA, in our minds, in our energy, in our anything. right? It's like we're a flicker from a flame.
Hmm.
No? Yeah.
So, what are the things that you learned when you were studying Heavenly Father in terms of being the best earthly father you could be? What were some of the particular things that you took away from that that you could help somebody else with to contribute them becoming the best father they could be?
To be honest, first of all, to have patience. And patience comes from unconditional love. And it's true. I'm gonna tell everyone, especially everyone that don't have kids, but the ones that they have, they'll understand. It doesn't matter how bad. It can be the worst day of your life. You get home and that little one smiles or does something funny, does something that you enjoy, you forget about anything,
Hmm.
so and that's because of love and patience. That's I was even saying that this is the biggest lesson that God wants to teach us. I think that's why we're living and we're growing old, because as you see, and I bet we all see that the more we age, the more patient we get. Like, Joe, our problems when we were maybe 16, if Joe from 16 years old would come to you and say, "Look, I have this problem," you would look at him and go like, "Okay," right? But at the time when you were 16, it was the end of the world,
Hmm.
you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, step by step. I was saying in one chapter that in fact we are just toddlers in this world,
So
comparing.
I just finished doing teaching a course on love. So
Mm-hmm.
I would love to hear what your definition of love is, not the definition that it says in the Bible, but your own definition. How would you define love in your own words, in English, not Romanian English? How you would define it if you were just teaching it to a boy or girl, and you're the father and you're doing a class on love? How would you define it in simple
Okay,
words? Yeah.
we're talking about universal love, or we're talking about love in general, or love for a parent love for their child.
Any or all of the above, but try to make it simple and succinct. Since our time is
Okay,
limited, it's not a full
sure,
day seminar.
sure,
Yes.
sure.
Yeah.
Love. Oh my gosh. Okay, you said my own words. Love is patient, love is kind. I swear, it's so true, and we so go over. Okay, we so pass through these words so easy.
Hmm.
They became so common. Even I'm telling you, I especially wrote the title Our Father because from Lord's Prayer,
Hmm.
we just pass through Our Father which art in heaven, blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? Instead of understanding man, who's our Father? What's the Father? Who's the Father? What it means to be a father,
Hmm.
you know? So that's why I'm saying love is patient, love is kind. It's true. You cannot do anything wrong as long as you love somebody. You cannot even talk bad with them, to them, about them. You
Hmm.
can't because you're kind when you love.
Yeah.
In love, I was just saying at one point, it's not just hugs and kisses. Love means to just be kind with somebody, to love on somebody just by doing something nice out of the blue, right? Random
Hmm.
acts of kindness,
Hmm.
especially to your kids. It
So
hurts me when I see.
you
Sorry,
have children. How many children do you have?
I have two little girls. When
Hmm.
I say little, they are 11 and 9. But
Okay.
when I wrote the book, uh, they were 3 and 1 at that time.
Hmm.
So it's beautiful because having a baby and a toddler, I'm telling you, and I bet a lot of the viewers will understand, will understand, will agree with this. It does make you feel like God. First of all, you have the full power over them, and when I'm saying full power means you have the power to joke, you have the power to play with them, you have the power to be in charge. Um, and when I'm saying that, I'm saying be in charge with loving way. Like if you say now we play. If we say no, 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 now you go to bed, they go
Hmm.
to bed.
Hmm.
You know, because you get to be the father, the parent, right? It would be so nice if we would if we would listen to God the
Hmm.
same way. When he says do this for us to do it, okay? It's not
Mm-hmm.
necessary that we hear him
Mm-hmm.
physically. Some
Mm-hmm.
of people understood they can. I'm telling you, I would love to have that gift, but we can see signs. I've had so many times when God pulled me by the hand, pulled me by the ear, smacked me behind my head just to go the way I should. And me, human, stubborn, no, I do it my way. And I end up wrong, just like kids,
Mm-hmm.
just like toddlers. You tell them, no, 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 tie your shoes. No, I'm telling you, tie your shoes. And they wonder why. But you know already, right? You know already. If they don't tie their shoes, they're going to run around, they're going to stumble, they're going to hurt themselves, they're going to bleed, they're going to cry, they're going to want you to take care of them, right?
Well, I agree,
But
and
they
I
don't
like
see it.
what you said about God give us a miracle, having trust. A good father inspires trust in his children, and I love this line in your book. You said, "You can do it. Daddy's here."
Yeah,
Surprise. So that's what a good father does: love all his children with no favorite, with the same strength, but in different ways. So I like what you said there, and in terms of the words that are used, because a lot of people they crave from their father to tell them that he cares about them, and he sincerely does by his eyes and his body language, and he sincerely, genuinely wants the best for them and means it. Because it's one thing saying something, it's another thing meaning it. So I like the words that you gave there. You can do it, Daddy's here. I love
yeah,
that because if you've come from a harsh background where you're told you can't do something, then that becomes hard to believe. So when you were a child, when you were a boy, did you have a very good, favorable childhood? Did your father lift you up or did he put you down?
um, yes. Like I was trying to go through your question all the way. So first of all, I did that with the girls. I always encourage them. Like to be honest,
Hmm.
me personal, now because I was writing the book, not that I was experimenting on them, but I was trying to do what God would do, you know?
Hmm.
So whenever if we went to the playground, they were afraid to climb somewhere, I would say, "You can do it. I'm here. I'm here. You can do it. Come on, girl." And they would do it,
Hmm.
knowing I'm there. And that's based on everything it's possible with God,
Hmm.
right? So why not to be possible with Daddy?
Hmm.
Because at the end of the day, we are the ones that make our kids courageous. Okay?
Hmm.
We gave them. If we tell them, no, 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 you cannot do it. No, 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 stay there. Oh my gosh, you're gonna hurt yourself. Okay? That's mostly a mom's role,
Hmm.
right? That's why I was saying that fathers and mothers, mostly fathers can have, because we're here. Mostly the fathers have the, um, I can't say the courage, but they have the, um, I'll say the thing so I don't kill the time. The thing where they can they can stop themselves having emotion and say, you know what, you can do it, even that they inside they tremble because they are afraid too. Don't
Hmm.
ladies don't think dads are not afraid for their kids to get hurt. But the thing is, this is how you grow their character, and this is how you show them about the trust and everything. Now, going to my father. I learned a lot from him. He's 80 right now. I was telling
Hmm.
my fiance that uh, this little man is the guy that used to play with me with just one hand, put me on the bed and turn me around and do all kinds of um, tricks with
Hmm.
me. And I said, I learned from him. From him, I learned to be a gentleman. From him, I learned a lot of things. From him, I learned, believe it or not, how not to be like him. For example, a lot of times when I wanted to do stuff, like for example, to make a kite, no, 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 you cannot do it. You cannot do it. And because of that, I learned and I said, no, I'll always say, you can do it. You cannot do it, you'll find it yourself, but at least I'll say you can do it. I understand my father why he was saying that because he already went ahead of me in thinking. And he would see at one point that I would stumble in something, and that's why I wouldn't be able to do it. But I decided myself, I said, no, no, I'll give a chance for my kids to be able to at least try it. I love to say that I do quotes, and I have a saying that goes like this: if you cannot fly, at least jump, you know?
Mhm. So, was your relationship with your father fairly encouraging, inspiring, or did you struggle overcoming doubt with him?
Thank God I had a good relationship with him, and I still have a good relationship with him. He was supportive. We always did a little projects and everything. As I said, he had this thing with no, no, no. He has the no problem.
Hmm.
Okay. When you ask him something, first he says no, and after that he goes with something else. But looking back now, I had a lot of support
Hmm.
and a lot of love that he knew how to express it in his way. Talking about the support, I'll tell you a little story. In short, I had a Filipino friend which he was at one point knowing what I'm doing and that I'm doing life coaching too. He came to me and he started crying and said, "Man, I have 40 years that I didn't talk to my father." I said, "Why? What's happening?" And he said, "All my childhood, he beat me up. All my childhood, he never gave me a good word and everything." And I said, "Okay, I understand you. Trust me, I understand your pain. And I didn't get there. I wasn't there. I never experienced this, but I understand what you're going through because I'm compassionate and I understand these things. But please try do something. Try and understand him too." And he looked at me, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, how do you think his childhood was? You don't know his childhood, right?" "No, exactly, because he's your father and you met him when he was your father." I said, "Maybe he had something even rougher than that. Maybe this is how he thought love is for him. Maybe this is how he thought a lot of things. Maybe this is how he thought it's normal." I said, "Listen, please do this." I said, "When you go home, give him a big hug and don't let him go until he hugs you back." He said, "Man, but he's gonna hit me or something." I said, "I don't care. Just do it. It's in your strength, in your power to break this thing." And to be honest, we had a call after several months, and when he went home back to Philippines, and he said, okay, he was crying and he told me, "Dude, you crazy." I said, "Why?" "Because I did what you told me." He said, "You know what? It took me at least 5 minutes, but I hold him with all my strength." Okay, his father is older, so he didn't have the strength that he has. He said he pushed me. He was getting angry and everything until wait a second, because I'm getting until he realized what I'm doing. Until until he realized I'm loving him. Look, my eyes just got water. Until he realized I'm loving him. He said like he never knew what love is. He never knew what it means for somebody to hug him. And coming from the son that he always beat him and gave him bad words. Whoa, dude, wait a second, I'm starting crying. Crazy. He said it was amazing. You know what I mean? It was amazing. What it means to love on somebody, even that he was wrong. But what I loved about him is that he opened up. Maybe God sent it to him, sent him to me. Maybe God put me in that place, especially for him to meet me and to be
Hmm.
able to speak him to. I don't know, but I'm telling you, it's amazing. He was crying because he was happy. Whew, okay, my hands are shaking. I'm sorry.
Well,
What?
I'll have a break then for a second. I appreciate and respect you opening up and being transparent because the issue is when you're talking about the pleasant parts of relationship father and son, there's many boys and men that have not had that. And I, in
Yeah.
particular, in my particular case, I'm not going to elaborate a lot because many have heard my story, but I came from the same kind of situations your friend came from. And it was just a month ago, my father said to me, I didn't know what the word love meant. You taught me.
Hmm.
So, and it takes a lot of deep soul searching to overcome that pain and suffering and find the meaning in it. And when you can overcome it, then you're in a position to be able to coach and help others to
Yeah.
overcome theirs. So I admire, respect how you were in a position to be able to coach your friend to help him to be the point now that he will be able to help others. So I really
So
admire and respect that. At this point of our show, I just need to take a couple minutes break and fill you in on a few things that we have as well going on with Voice of Men 360. We have an open up show coming up shortly. It's usually on Sundays from 10 a.m. to 12. Participants from different countries, industries will join and share their life journeys. And it's usually Sunday from 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have Dilly. It's a Tamil live talk show. It's on Sundays at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We as well have a monthly webinar the first Saturday of every month at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we bring expertise, organizations, and discuss a particular topic each time. We have a monthly special show. It's called the Unspoken Tears. Second Saturday every month from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The focus is on domestic violence against men, bullying, male sex abuse, traumas, porn addiction, and human trafficking. And with Author Circle, just to remind you, this particular program is on once a month, the third Saturday of every month from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. So don't miss it. This is our fifth show, and we'll be having a lot more. And podcasts, all of our shows are available on 6 platforms, including iPhone, Google Play, and so on. We have a monthly men's group meeting only for men by men every 2 weeks on Tuesdays from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. through Zoom. The next one will be on Tuesday coming up. And as well, please join us through Zoom. We have Passed the Talking Stick. It's Indigenous peer-to-peer support group the fourth Friday of every month from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. through Zoom. So there are no limitations with gender, age, nationality, or ethnic groups. All walks of life can participate in any of our shows. We do have a big event coming up next week, and here it is for everyone to see. It's Saturday, April 23rd, 2022, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's basically an event, sustainable and prospering, rethink an investor environment. It's called Earth Day. So don't miss this one. This one will be exciting. We have a lot of guests here, including Serena Rai, Troy Richardson, Arif Jalani, Joe Lawrence, Stephen Kariuki, Kiboy, Arun Sik Armar. I'm trying to get these great names, and Eric Novak, founder of Envirodad. So we have a lot of exciting people coming. So I look forward to seeing everyone there. So let's continue with this fascinating discussion with Florin Marksteiner. So thank
I'm
you
here.
for sharing those very intense moments, and I appreciate you opening up about those things. So what I wanted to share as well, I like what you talked about here. Explain this a little bit. I wished, this is what I wished for, a mirror. What did you mean by that in your book? This is what I wished for, a mirror. You wished for a mirror. You said that in your book.
I said that I'm wishing for a mirror.
That's what I wrote down, desire. This is what I wished for, a mirror. Remember saying that? Think about it. Okay.
Uh,
Obedience. With faith, your life would have been a lot easier. You said that in your book as well. Ask and you shall receive. So I
mhm.
liked what you talked about. We're struggling for nothing. And complaining, I'll give you candy, just do this task. Complaining is the opposite of obedience. Obedience means, yes, sir, I'll do whatever you ask me, no other comments or anything else. When you finish, you're like, here I am, I'm done, and then you get the reward. That's it. So
That's
I
my
like,
favorite chapter.
yeah, yeah. So if you think of what
Complaining.
I'm talking about the mirror, let me know. But I liked some of the notes that I wrote down there. I thought hit me, so I thought I'd share that with you. Some of the things
To
that
be honest, I don't remember
stood
the
out.
context of the mirror. I think I wished for a mirror in the sense that I wished for to be able to mirror God. Oh
Yeah.
no, I know what you mean. Uh, it was oh I was with the little one. She was about 3 years old, and we went in a gift shop, and she
Okay.
wanted a mirror, which
Oh,
were the
okay.
mirror
Right.
was a Christmas tree ornament,
Hmm.
and oh God, you make me woof, man up.
Hmm.
Okay, it was a Christmas tree ornament. That was in July. Okay, so I told Ella, I said, no, 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 we're not taking this one now. I understand you like them, but not now. Okay, we're not. So I took her home, but after that, shortly, I went and I bought the mirror.
Mhm.
And then at Christmas time, we made the Christmas tree.
Mhm.
And when we finished, I said, "It's all done." Yeah, oh, it's so beautiful. And I said, "Wait a second, you still have something to put in in the tree." Guess what? I brought her the mirror, packed. Okay, she didn't know what's in there, and oh, the excitement. And that's why I said I wished for a mirror. I wish to feel that excitement, because that excitement we lose it over years, right? Remember
Mhm.
that excitement when you're a kid and suddenly you receive something that you or you thought you lost or you didn't expect. I wish I would feel that excitement again. I'm trying
Mhm.
all my life to be a kid, trust me. Like, I'm serious. I'm big 46 beard and all that, but inside I'm still a kid and I want to be a kid all my life, you know?
Mhm.
Because I think towards the uh, anyway, God wants us to be kids. When you have kids, you wish exactly like with the little kittens and with the puppies, you wish them to be small, to be cute, to not grow up, to never grow up. I think
Mhm.
God wants the same thing for us to just remain the toddlers that we are. And when I'm
Well, that.
saying the toddlers,
Mhm. Mhm.
I'm talking about the fact that we're so small that we don't really understand. If you think a little bit, when our children are about from since they are born, right, till
Mhm.
maybe 2 years old until they start understanding the language, right? We talk to
Mhm.
them, but they don't really understand us. Imagine that God talks to us and we don't really understand until we mature. It's crazy. And we all mature at different ages, right? It's simple. I don't know. That's why I'm saying it. Gosh, it's so simple. We just need to see it.
Well, that's it exactly, and it's the childlike faith that we have, not questioning God, trusting God, having that faith, and how the take I look at the interpretation of the mirror is a little bit different, but you can give me your opinion. I look at the mirror if the child has a great relationship with the father, the child
Hmm.
will mirror the father's life and be like the father. If the child has a relationship that isn't the best, the child will even mirror the father's acts and behaviors even more because the child is trying not to be like the father. So the child is setting that up as a goal to be not like the father. So the only way that's ever going to change is to accept the father the way the father is, like you were instructing your friend to do, accepting the father. How could a man or boy ever hug a father unless he's finally willing to accept him? And you gave him very wise instruction saying, understand where he came from. You don't know where he came from if he never shared it. It might have been very painful. So, how we treat others is a direct reflection of what's going on inside. If you don't have sweetness inside, how can you be sweet to somebody else? So, the son was being sweet to the father. So, the father couldn't handle it because he had too much bitterness inside. So, you were instructing him to melt his father's heart. So, you gave extremely wise advice. I
Thank you.
love what you did there because that is on the process of transforming that relationship.
Yeah.
So, you are now helping him mirror the instructions you gave. So the mirror has a lot more meaning that you were giving. That's why it hit me. I thought the mirror is a great idea. Perhaps in your next edition of the book, you could elaborate more in that because we are mirroring, other people are mirroring our lives, whether we know it or not. They're watching every move. Your daughters are watching every move you make, every word you say, and your fiance is, God is, we're all watching you. We're going to be watching you every moment, every step you take, especially now we're friends on Facebook. I'm going to be watching every move you make, and you're going to be watching every move I make, right? So, this is how, if we have great friends, we're going to be able to help each other, right? So, I love that. So, especially what you said, you had developed the courage to name the book about our Heavenly Father. So that took a lot of courage to come up with this title. How did you finally get the courage to do this? How did you get the courage to have this title How did you do that?
Well, I wanted to put the first two words of the Lord's Prayer.
Hmm.
Okay. I wanted those to be big and for people to understand clearly when you say Our Father, for everybody to get in their minds those two words from the Lord's Prayer, to understand who am I talking about. Understanding God was the courage
Hmm.
because when I talked with the editor, um, she told me the first thing she told me that we should name the book different. We should name the book The Top Dad. And I was like, it doesn't ring a bell. I mean, maybe it didn't have the success that maybe it should have with the new title. I don't know. But if I got the download like this, if my father told me to do it this way, well, I listen, okay?
Hmm.
Because it's the same thing. Look, now you just made me think. A lot of times we give instructions to our kids and they go to school and they start getting other instructions from somewhere else, like from the
Hmm.
teachers, from their peers, from people that they know, and so on. So, and suddenly they don't do what you told them to do, which that's what it was important, not
Hmm.
what other people told them, right?
Hmm.
Talking about being obedient. And here's where I wanted to go. I think we need all of us to learn to drop our ego because even with my friend, right, he had to step on his own ego to go and hug his dad because everything he did till then, it didn't work.
Hmm.
And that's because, and as you know it, we all been through there. When we get into a fight, the first thing that we throw at people, it's our ego,
Hmm.
our first thoughts, our first words. Okay. When we grow, and I love to say when we grow wise, we learn to just take it easy and step back a little bit. And I develop a really simple way to diffuse a fight, especially in a couple. And it's this way. If somebody says, let's say he tells her something and she gets upset, right?
Hmm.
Something was wrong. But instead of getting upset, if she asks him, what do you mean? Then that should be the ding ding ding, the bell to make him understand, okay, if I meant it, I'll say it again. If I didn't mean it, oh no, honey, I didn't mean that. Sorry. No, no, no. I want to say this. I'm sorry.
Hmm.
And no more fight,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
But it's all about the egos, you know, because we love to be reactive. The moment somebody said something, bam, you're gonna tell them, you're gonna show them what? Because you
Hmm.
have a bigger ego, and because of the ego, you get to end up in meaningless fights. I have my father was in he didn't talk with his sister for 20 years. When I asked him why, what was the reason? I don't remember. So why don't you call her? Why don't you talk? And they started talking again. You know what I mean? Like all because of ego,
Hmm.
you know? So again, I think I love to say this, but um imagine this. You have two, three kids. So let's say four, five, six, seven. Doesn't matter how many. Not, but you have more than two. Wouldn't you love for all the kids to love each other, to be friends, to be best friends, to play together, to laugh, to have a good tone towards each other? Or would you love to see them every day fighting and pulling their hair and right? The same thing with God. He
Hmm.
would love to see us loving on each other. Loving on each other means helping each other, be kind, have a good tone, just be nice with each other. I had a lot of times when people ask me, what do you want from me? And I told them just to be nice. That's it.
I
It's
like
hard,
that.
especially
I
these
like
days.
that.
I don't know why.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I like
And
that. It's a very good goal. What
I-
I was wondering in your book, you have a lot of testimonials near the end,
yeah.
people that have given good testimonies. As I said, our time is limited today, but I'd love to hear if you can pick one that really is a significant testimony in your book of someone you know that had a great relationship with their father that is worthy of talking about for a minute. There was a
Uh,
lot. There's a lot there.
You
So,
put me on the spot, but the thing is, can I just say that I don't have a favorite one? And that's because they all have their own story. And I'm telling you,
mhm,
some of them, they told me they cried when they wrote that testimony because they never thought somebody's going to ask them that. And my only
mhm,
question to that testimony was, how did becoming a father changed your life?
mhm,
That's it. And then everybody came up however they wanted. One that stands up for me, I'm not going to say the name, but I'll put it this way. It's a gentleman because I need to call him this way because he is a gentleman if and I bow. It ended up for him to become a father at 16.
mhm,
It just happened, okay? As we know, stuff happens. You think your life is ruined and all that. It ended up to become a father at 16 and to become a good father in a sense that she left the child and he stepped in. He was in really bad things. And he stepped in and he is raising that little girl amazingly. I told him, man, I don't even know what I was doing when I was 16. You're amazing. You don't even know how amazing you are at 16, you know?
mhm, mhm.
Yeah. I mean,
Wow, awesome,
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
I like that. I like as well a line you had in the book, a sentence that said, "Scraping by, a lot of the good opportunities that we should take are right under our nose." And, isn't that so true? We we're waiting for somebody else to open the door, but meanwhile, a window's open over here with an opportunity. But for some reason, we're missing the window because we're looking for the door to be open. So
Yeah.
maybe the opportunity comes from the window, it might come from the door. So where is it coming from? So getting back to what you said, hearing God's voice, I know what God's voice sounds like. I know how that works. So is I know when God's speaking to me. There's other people that search their whole lives don't understand that. I know what that means. So God could be opening the door, he could be opening the window. You don't know. You got to really listen. And I love what you said about journey of life. In the near the end of the book as well, you talk about homes that can be built for $5,000 in Romania. That
Yes.
I found quite astounding considering what the prices of the homes are here. You can't even buy the lumber for $5,000. I spent more than that on putting floors in my office and the other bedroom, and getting it all done. That cost me 5,000 just to do that, just for the floor to put new floors in. So
Well,
$5,000 house, that
you
is
know,
absolutely amazing because what can you buy in Kitchener or London
so
for 5,000? So tell me a little, tell the people how is that possible? You can build a house for $5,000.
okay, so I'll get to that, but I'll just tell you why it was with the opportunity, right?
Mm-hmm,
My little one, Denny, loves shrimps, and we were eating around the table, and she finished her shrimps, and she was hurting herself trying to clean the tails. And I put a shrimp on her plate in front of her, and she didn't see the shrimp because she was too busy scraping. This is what we all do.
mm,
You know what I mean? God
yeah.
gives us, and we don't want to raise our eyes to look at what He gives us. You know, that's why I
Mm-hmm,
say everything I wrote, it's a parallel with how God treats us,
mm-hmm,
right? And from there, and I'll get to the house. And from there, I had a little thing where in London I was doing Uber at one point, and I take somebody that he was pretty upset, and I said, "What's happening?" "Well, I'm going to a job interview. I'm a film producer, and I cannot make ends meet, and I have a film which is not finished, and I would have loved to put it in the festivals and everything." And I said, "Oh, okay. Would you like to finish the film?" "Ah, no, I need to go to the interview. I think I'm gonna drop everything." I said, "I might be able to help you. Would you like to finish it?" And he was all angry and upset and everything, and when he was about to get out of the car, and I said, "If you would have googled me, you would have find out I'm a filmmaker, and I could have edit and finished the film for you for free as a gift, but you didn't want to see that opportunity." That's why I even came up with this saying that the biggest opportunities are under your nose. I was one of them, you know. We
So
are each other's
what happened?
opportunities.
What happened?
he just looked at me. He didn't really understand, and he left. And I let him be. And I said, I felt bad. I would have loved to help him, but
Mhm.
it's sad because God puts us in people's lives. With one word, we can change a life. People don't understand that. With one word, with one smile, we can save a life. Somebody that goes by on the street and you smile to them just out of blue, that
Yeah.
guy might have went. He was maybe in the way to a bridge to throw himself off, and because you smile at him genuinely, not that something like this, right?
Yeah.
Maybe he thought, you know what? Maybe people are nice around here,
Hmm.
and he stopped. That's why I'm telling a lot of people, and I have a lot of talks with teenagers, and I tell them, stop being like this towards each other. Be supportive. It's hurting me because if you look at the Disney and all the other channels that they have series for teenagers, watch without the sound, and you're gonna see how every line is acting like this all the time. It's attitude. It's
Hmm.
nothing kind towards each other. Honestly, have a look and you're going to see what I mean. Now,
That's
going back to
amazing.
the house, I
That's
met a
amazing. Yeah.
pastor in Romania. Sorry.
That's amazing. Yes, you're right. Yes.
Yeah, it's true. Then close your eyes and listen to what they say, the lines, because I'm an actor and I understand. Listen to what they say, and you're gonna see how mean they are to each other. And poor kids, when they look at 2, 3 series a day, 2, 3 episodes of different series and all that, they think this is normal.
Hmm.
That's why it's good to be a good father and say, listen, uh, I know this is entertainment, but this is not how you act to people. This is not how you make friends. You know.
Hmm.
So getting to the house, the $5,000 house. Well, I met online a pastor in Romania, Pastor Paul Marika, amazing gentleman. That him with his bare hands, with an organization lately, they get volunteers and they make small houses for people. Here's the thing. Exactly how they say in the Bibles, take care of, in the Bible, take care of our elders, our widows, and our orphans. This is what he does. Um, he has a lot of things like pictures and videos with old people left by the world
Hmm.
to be alone in little houses that in the winter they have a hole in the roof and they
Hmm.
stay in some dirty blankets with a piece of dry bread on their stove. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And this is what they do. And that's why it's 5,000 because they try their best to keep the cost as low as possible. It's in the countryside what they do, but it's amazing because they offer some comfort and not just physical comfort, but showing somebody that somebody is still there caring for them. You know what? If it doesn't make them a beautiful life, at least it gives them a beautiful death.
Hmm. Hmm. I agree. And right near where I am, there are, they call them tiny houses, very
Hmm.
similar to what you have. So, with the few minutes that we have left, is there one particular thing that you could say to someone as a takeaway from your book or your life lessons? And as well, if there's a link that we can provide to get access to your book, I have it on Kindle. It can be read right away, 163 pages. And if there's any way to help when it comes to contributions to help someone for 5,000, to many people, that's a week's wages. Some it's a day's wages. Some it's a month's wages to help someone to purchase homes there in Romania. There's definitely a need there. So some people might be touched by your story. They may want to contribute and help. So you have a Facebook page. Is there any way we can provide a link to that? If they were to look you up, your Facebook page has your name on it, correct? And what else would it have?
So we're talking about the Facebook page, my author Facebook page.
Yes. How could someone contact you if they want to be able to
Yes.
purchase your book or contribute to the housing or to contribute to any other causes you might have that are worth pursuing?
Yeah. The
Is that
easy
all in
way
there?
to find it, yeah, it would be the facebook.com/ourfatherbook.com. Like it's
Okay.
ourfathersbook.com, right?
Okay.
And on that
Yeah.
one,
Sure.
in there, they can write to the page, and I can put them in contact with the organization, with the pastor Marika. And I'm telling you, it would be beautiful because I think if there is one family that wants to donate a home like this,
Mhm.
they can even make the cornerstone of the
Okay.
house with that, right? To be a reminder, which
Okay.
is it's beautiful. I'm telling you, I've seen the cases and it's amazing. It's amazing. People don't understand what it means to be stranded,
Okay.
not
That's great.
physically,
Yes.
you know. So
So,
yeah, and the book, it's easy to find on Amazon. The ebook, it's only 99 cents. I specially made it that way. The paperback, it's $9. That's it. That's how I made it. Usually it's 30 bucks,
mhm.
right? But I specially put it down, and I'm telling you, because you asked me about the message. This is the message. The book is all for the youth and for the fathers to be and for the fathers. But I have a message for the moms of the teenage boys. Get them this book. You're going to want for them to learn from it. You're going to want for them to become good fathers, because then you will become a good grandma at one point and you're going to love what's happening in your home.
Mhm.
For the moms and even for the dads, get this book for your daughters. Why I'm saying that? Don't buy it for the daughters to read it. It's for the boys to read it, because the boys, when they're gonna get married, they're gonna take care of your daughter as their wife. They're gonna understand that mirroring God, at one point they're gonna understand and they're gonna realize that they have to be nice, they have to be patient, they have to love their wife and their family, their kids, right? And they're gonna pass that. That's why I'm saying, if you're a mom, get the book for your kids. Especially when I'm saying for your kids, I'm talking about teenagers. I can't believe I call them kids.
Mhm.
But for the teenagers, okay? Believe me or not, I have a chapter in the book where we talk about the generational discord, right?
Mhm.
Where the teenagers in our eyes, they are still kids, they are still small, but because they see themselves in the mirror, tall and sometimes big, right? They think they are grown-ups.
Mhm.
So there is where the discord starts. But
Mhm.
in the moment when we understand, I even have a saying: understand that in your parents' eyes, you'll always be a baby, and it's true, it
Mhm.
is true, you know. So because of that, we don't think that our teenage kids, they understand things, but believe me, they understand a lot. And from that book, they're gonna get some really good things, really good answers, you know.
Well, I agree. I like that. I like that a lot. So it's been a true pleasure having you on today. And through the magic of technology, we're able to talk across the world. It is now almost noon here, ready for lunch. But where you are, it is time for dinner, isn't it?
7 p.m. Yes,
Oh,
Romania.
7 p.m. Wow. Okay,
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
So I hope one day to be able to visit Romania, or I'm hoping one day we're going to be able to get together here and have lunch or breakfast together when you're back in Canada.
It will
So
happen.
yeah, so I know there's going to be other opportunities for you to be guest speaker and do different talks. I have different ideas in mind. We'll keep in touch. And I thoroughly want to thank Florin for coming on today. It was a true pleasure. And I invite everyone that is interviewing audience now and that will see the recording to come to our future author circle and get involved in Voice Men 360. We have a lot of events happening that I'm sure you will find very inspiring and you may want to participate or even contribute. So for that, I'd like to say have a wonderful Saturday today, whether it's still morning or afternoon or evening to you. And make sure that you give your fiance Ramona a nice hug and listen to the song again.
Thank
And
you.
have a wonderful day, everyone. Keep
It
smiling
was
and
a
thank you for
pleasure.
being here.
It was a pleasure.
God bless everyone.